Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 3 of Loop StoryTime. We have an awesome episode for you this evening. We have the one and only Shawn Eckels coming in this little bit later, talking about life. But in the meantime, let's do some music. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We got a good crowd of people out there watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Again, my name is Loop Story. This is week 3 of Loop Storytime. We got a great interview with Shawn Eckels coming up soon. I hope you guys sit back, enjoy, sing along if you know the words. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got a good crowd in here tonight. Everyone say hey to Shawn in the audience. This is so dope that he was able to be a part of this with me. So I'm excited to show you guys what I got in store. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. Return to the Mac, get it what it is, what it does, what it is, what it is. Looking for a better way to get it out of bed, sitting, getting rid of it, and chicken and him to get up. Three strop, pinch drop, walking, little bit of humble, little bit of cautious, somewhere between like Rocky. Sweaty game, yo, can't copy what's fast. Moonwalking, this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way throwing music. I shed my skin and put my bone into everything I record. Do it, yet I'm on sale. That stage light, going shine on down. I got that Bob Barker suit and gon' blink over my style. Money, stay in my craft, but I stick around for this pound. And I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. I said, trust me, on my INTEPENT, straight hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14, I got that 4-track bustin'. Halfway across the city with the backpack, fat cat crushing. Labels out here, no they can't tell me nothing. We get back to that people, spread across the country. Labels out here, no they can't tell me nothing. We get back to that people, spread across the country. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment, tonight is the night. We fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Now, can I kick it? Thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. Grew up really wanna go front, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Going hard like you got an 808 in my heartbeat. But I'm eating the beat. I give a little speed to a great white shotgun shot. We ride where we go up. Gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. My girl, she wanna see Rome. Sees I make you a believer. Nah, never ever did it from a throne. That validation coming from giving it back to the people. Now we sing a song and it goes like this. Raise those hands, this is our party. You can't live life like nobody else. got my city right behind me. With my more than got me love from that bed. Can you feel it? And then we keep marching and we go back. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment, tonight is the night. We fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can't we go back? This is the moment, tonight is the night. We fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can't we go? Thank you all so much. I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. Get a little bit of a rest for that. I got a little out of shape. Thank you for everyone who's been tuning in weekly. For those of you who are just watching for the first time, hope you guys enjoy. This is a brand new loop for you guys. Learned it this week. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you guys so much. I have one more song for you guys this evening before we kick it off to Mr. Shawn Eckels. It was such a pleasure to interview him. But before I do that, I want to do a big thank you to everyone that's helped me out. But also, if you liked what you saw and you want to see it in person, not on a screen, not on a TV, got some shows coming up. March 24th, you can catch me doing my full band project, Float Like a Buffalo. We are going to be headlining the Cervantes Ballroom on March 24th, 2 shows. Tickets are available online. If you like this, that's something completely different, but it's a heck of a lot. I see this show in person this Friday at the Alley in downtown Littleton. I will be playing from 7 to 9. And next Saturday up at the Edgewater Marketplace, I will be playing at Barkentine Brewery from 2:30 to 3:30, celebrating their 1-year anniversary. Thank you guys so much, and we're going to get this last song going. Get down below, baby got me moving all over town. Strictly as you don't play around, cover much ground, got game by the pound. Get made is forte, each and every day, true play away. Can't get her out of my mind, yeah, I'll think about the girl all the time. East side to the west side, put you fat right, it's no surprise. She got tricks in the stack, fast enough, yeah, fast when it comes to the gas. By no means average, when she come, she got you happy. Baby, I'm a perfect 10, can I get in, can I get down so I can win? Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity, you gotta back it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity, you gotta back it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity, you gotta back it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity, you gotta back it up, oh baby. She got class and style, street college by the pound. Baby never act wild, very low key on a profile. Saying what we know, let me show you how it goes. Curve words, spin, fur, lovers and curves, so freak what you heard. Rolling with the fatness, and you don't even know what the past is. You got to pay to play, just for sure that bang bang look your way. Like the way you work it, all time, all day, every day. Rolling my mind, baby, in time. Baby, I can get you in my ride, baby. Like the way you work it, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Like the way you work it, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Like the way you work it, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby.
Sing it if you know it at home. Come on.
Hey, oh, yeah, come on. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, that girl look good. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, that girl look good.
bag it up, oh, way out, way out, way out, way out. That girl look good. Way out, way out, way out, way out. That girl look good. Baby, like the way you work, yeah, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Way out, way out, way out, way out. That girl look good. Way out, way out, way out, way out. That girl look good. Baby, like the way you work, yeah, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby. Like the way you work, yeah, no diggity. You gotta bag it up, oh baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of this episode 3. Thank you so much to Loose Leaf, Jamcast, Rocky Mountain Virtual, Emily Vanderweel, and everyone who helps make this possible. We're gonna okay. So I had 0 songs left, but I still got like 5 minutes. So I guess I'll play one more for you guys. I think you'll like this one. This is a throwback to the early days of I've been doing this for a little bit. Here's a throwback to one of the first good songs I was doing. Okay, now that's for real, my last song. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stick around. We're going to switch it over to the awesome opportunity I had to sit down with Shawn Eckels. So please stick around and watch this. If this was your first time watching Loop Story, give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Come check out a show in the next few weeks, and I hope to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my favorite part of the Loop Story Time. We have today with us Shawn Eckels of Andy Frasco and the U.N. of
What's
Evil
up?
Dave. Oh, man, the party animal himself. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, dude.
That is good. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm
Of course.
so excited to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
For those of you who haven't had a chance to see Shawn perform, you are an absolute animal, man. I just there's no other way to describe this. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. I first saw you on a boat in San Diego.
Yeah, man.
35-minute set, and the very first thing you do, it's like, hey, what's up? We're Andy Frasco, and you're on your knees, spinning in circles, shredding guitar, and I'm like, yeah.
When it's go time, it's go time.
When it's go time, it's go time, man. I love it. So tell me the cheesy of all questions, like how did you become the man you are today in music? When did you figure out that this is what you're going to be doing?
8th grade.
8th grade.
The 8th grade talent show at Lynn Haven Junior High School, Virginia Beach, Virginia. I was a military brat, so my dad was in the Navy for like 22 years, and my older brother Joel Eckels is every reason I play and love music. He gifted me rock and roll when I was when we're 4 years difference, and he went off to college in what's that, like 93 or something like that. He went to Florida State, and we were living in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I had my first band, Menace. It was a Metallica cover band. We closed out the 8th grade talent show, and I have VHS video of doing the hammer-on pull-off at Am I Evil? What is it? Hold on, I can do it. That whole thing, and I'm super skinny, mullet, and big old white Nikes, and you hear these little 8th grade girls go, ah! And then you see me look up. And that's the moment I knew.
That's I was listening to the Frasco podcast the other day, and it was talking to Mahali, and it was about the oh shit moment where you realize this is something that's
right.
real. This is going to be something that, and I mean you hit that at 7th or 8th grade, and then
I've been in a band ever since. I mean, I've been broke for ever since too. It's like whatever your victories are, you got to count your victories as they may be. But financially, I've never been in it to make money. I love rock and roll so much, and it's nice to make a living now doing it. It's everything I love very much so.
I mean, make a living, man. I think you guys as the UN, you guys kind of define the game of hustling. Like I think 200 shows a year is the number that keeps kind of popping up, man. That's national, that's international. I mean, you guys define hustle. So tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the UN and how your journey with that kind of took off.
Okay. My dad, like I said, when I was in 8th grade, he retired from the Navy. We were in Virginia Beach, and he's a civil engineer, and he got a job at Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri, where I moved from my metal band and everything against my will to the Midwest. And I toured in a band called Speakeasy out of there from 98 until, I knew Frasco. I was doing double duties with Speakeasy and Frasco when I met him. I was playing some local pickup gigs, like a Wednesday night gig, and my friend Doug, who was in another band, it's like, my buddy Andy Frasco needs a gig on a Wednesday. Weekends I'd go tour with Speakeasy, do whatever, but that band was kind of slowing down because of kids and stuff like that and getting older. And I met, on this Wednesday night, Doug brings in his buddy Andy Frasco. Ernie Chang was there. He had the original lineup I knew with his old bass player, drummer, and guitar player.
And we made friends real quick. I was like, God damn, this guy's got energy, man. I was like, first thing, I was like, whoa. They did like struggle, you know. I was like, there's nobody here. And he's rocking the fuck out. You know?
Yeah, man.
And so I was like, cool. I'm like, he was kind of in the Midwest a bunch as he's been touring endlessly since he was like 20 or something like that. And, you know, he'd be like, hey, you want to go to Tulsa for the weekend? Sure. I'd go play Tulsa in Fayetteville, Arkansas or something. Then it'd be, next time he came through, it'd be 2 weekends. And then it'd be a month. And then go to LA and record an album. And that was like in 2010. So I've been in the band for like a decade at least.
Jeez.
And yeah, that 200 plus shows is no bullshit. It's crazy, man. I mean, careful what you ask for kind of thing. Because like, it's so busy. But there's no band that gets tighter. It doesn't matter what genre or how good you are in your instruments. But the band being together, when you play that much, man, it gets like Jedi, like, you know, like telepathy kind of stuff where you just, you know each other's backbones, you know. It's I love that about touring that much. You get really tight and like, just you have to. I mean, if you're doing it every night, the same guys, like you figure out these little nuances that are so small and it's seemingly insignificant that make things so tight. And so touring for 10 years like that, I love this band, man. It's the best.
Like I said, defining hustle, and it's the fact that for 10 years you guys have been able to maintain a pretty. I mean, if you were back there and it was Frasco and it was Chang, and then you jumped in with that. And then, like, you've had a few rotating people, but that's kind of been the beauty of the U.N.
A few, I'd say we counted one time. before the song line, there's been like 35 people in this band.
But that's what makes it the U.N. That's one.
Oh, totally.
That's
why it's called the U.N.
Like I saw an interview, or it was like a TED Talk or something with someone that it was an improv session, and the guy's like, this next song's going to be entirely improvised, and you can only really do this if you've been playing with these guys for a while. And I'm like, you're wrong.
Yeah, not really.
Like if you understand the basic concepts of music, then you can do it. It's not that it's.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think experience is your teacher. I mean, the more you do it, so when you get with other people that are also versed in doing that as well, then you can just meet each other and go to town, I think.
Oh, and it's the language, it's the conversation. You
exactly.
know what your responsibilities are. You know where. I mean, when Chick Corea passed away, someone put like the 10 rules of jamming with Chick Corea.
Saw that. That's great. It's so true, and you should read it all the time.
So moving through it. So you started, first show was 13 years old, 8th grade talent show, Metallica cover band. And then just kind of like loaded question, but not loaded question. In that span of however long, is there a singular show that you look back and be like, yeah, that there is a pinnacle moment in your life that you can think of that is a performance for you?
Yes.
Which one is it? Tell me about it.
This is a show, speaking of Germany, that for me changed the band, Andy Frasco the U.N. Like we kind of we were put in front of more people than we really ever played in front of a festival crowd, in a German metal festival crowd, and fucking A if it didn't work, man. Like, okay, so we were playing Taubertal festival, I don't know where that is, man, like Bavaria, Southern Germany or something. And this band drinks, man. We drink, especially back then. This is, I don't know, 2015. We were drinking a lot. And I woke up in the van pretty hungover, and we're at this festival, and we're playing a like cool cigarettes tent that's like set up on hay bales, and it's between the main stages. This is what we were booked for. You know, we were playing 20-minute sets while people got drinks and got their free packs of cool cigarettes, whatever. There's some menthol cigarettes. They were like, oh, here's some cigarettes. We're like, great. So it was fun, but we're like, all right, we're playing the cigarette tent. And then the promoter was like, well, we had like 5 of these sets, you know, and the promoter's like, all right, you're playing the main stage. Somebody canceled right after the Korean death metal band. And we're like, fuck yeah. So, and this festival was dope. It was like in this huge hillside, 2 stages, like a fucking castle up on the hillside or some shit. And we got up there, and it seriously, this Korean death metal band was like their hair was synchronized, you know, this shit. It was so good, too. I love metal. But they're like, oh, I was killing it. Like a female bass player. They were all doing the fucking hair thing when we were walking over. They're like, oh, all right. Crowd was super hype and getting medley. And we did a 45-minute set, man. That fucking crowd. It's in some of the documentary footage we have. Like Frasco doing the everybody left, everybody right thing. Like 3,000 Germans running to the left and right, fucking smiling their asses off. And it was like, I don't know. I felt like I was levitating, man. I was just like, wow, this is the greatest feeling I've ever had. I've had dreams about this shit. And that's what it felt like. It felt like totally like a dream. But that was like the moment I realized, I was like, this band, we can play big shit. We can play big sets. We can headline. We can do all, give us the opportunity. We'll rock this shit, That was the one.
That's super. Yeah, that's 3,000 people just like.
It was crazy.
To be able to have that power and control over a show.
Everybody was like, the whole crowd was like, what? We were all like, what? And everybody's moving together. It's like, what? This is insane.
That's
awesome. It was like, it's one of the first times like he really started doing that, where he's like directing the crowd like as masses, you know what I mean? And moving thousands of people in the same direction. It was awesome. Man.
So you're saying a Frasco religion is coming soon?
Yeah, it's kind of, non-denomination. It's non-denominational, but it's a good fucking time.
Or you praying the right to party or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
So, and also awesome experiences. You guys got to do Red Rocks for your first time. Was this your socially distant Red Rocks? Was that your first time hitting that stage?
It was so social. Yeah, it was the first time we'd ever played there. I've been there a million times over the years. Yeah, but to see so many different shows, it's been great. Big deal to play there, obviously, for anybody. So, when was that, September? End of September? I think it was the end of September last year. It was COVID-19, socially distant, sold out Red Rocks for a whopping 150 people.
150 people who really cared.
It was tight, though, man. It felt so good, man. It's like, that place is crazy. And it sounds amazing in there, too. And hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully we'll be playing there again this year. So
I'll be there if you are.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Well, yeah, let's party.
So, but now on the flip side, not every show is a German mosh pit with death metal Korean bands and,
no, it's not.
And socially distant. Right? So, like on the flip side of the coin, because we've all had them. Where do you have a show that's like, fuck this, man? Just like
let's stay in Germany.
Oh, perfect.
So one time we played at a zoo, and it was like this fucking weird, I don't know, out in the middle of the country, like just kind of. It was kind of a zoo, but it was like a children's, I don't know, like activity center kind of thing too. I don't know. It was one of the most bizarre gigs. It's like, and one of our first German tours too. And you're like, okay, it's a zoo, and then like, yeah, you play here. And it's like, it was just odd. I wouldn't say it was the worst gig ever. I mean, I could think of horrible like promoters ripping you off and everything, but I'll say this: the soup they fed us, it wasn't like soup. It more had a consistency to something that a man comes out of a man.
Gross.
And that was like before the gig, and yeah, so you can see how things went bad. But that's just staying in Germany. So.
Oh. So Germany has its pluses and its minuses, you know.
Oh man, okay. So over the 10 years, we started touring in Germany, in Germany and the Netherlands since I don't know 2009 or 10, playing just like the States. We'd go over there and hire a Dutch band, be me, Ernie, and Frasco. And hire our Dutch friends, who are still our great friends, as the bass player and drummer and other horn players, and play every dive bar there was in the Netherlands until we were playing festival slots. So we played like zoos and little markets and like really bad bars and sleeping on the bar or sleeping at the bar on the stages and shit like that, But wouldn't trade it for anything, man. It's like hanging out in Europe like that in the dirty. Dirty, scummy aftermath. It was killer, man.
So when you guys do that, where it's you take 3 of you and then hire out, is it one of those like, here's our tracks, here's our set list, learn how to vamp? Do you have try out stuff like?
Yeah, but it's nobody. I mean, these guys have been around us for a long time, and they record on some of the albums and everything. So that would be our move for a long time. But until like I'd say around that Germany festival I was telling you that blew my mind. Then we brought Beats, Andy Avila over there, and we had the American band plus the Dutch band. We had this huge band. But for a while we were like Spinal Tap of bass players too. So like going through musicians, you send them all the songs and everything, but nobody knows the show until they play it with Frasco because he's the ringleader, man. It's like just because you know the song doesn't mean you know what he's gonna do. Or the arrangement of all the songs are pretty much improvised at that moment because he'll just let's break down now in the middle of the second verse. Let's break down because he wants to say something. So you have to watch his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no going on cruise control when you're sitting in.
No, oh my God, no, please don't. I'm dealing with stuff that I've never dealt with my entire adult life until I needed to. I got my wife that I love so much. Now that I'm married, it's like, okay, bro, deal with your life. You're a musician who can't tour,
Right.
and it turns out that it's all good, and for any other musicians or for people watching this or anything, it's backline.care. I'm looking at it right now. So backline.care, there's all sorts of people you can just hook up with one of the caseworkers, and they can for anything you need. Like I think they even do like just straight up yoga and stuff on their Instagram Live, and like it's like scheduled. So if you just need to hit some yoga, that's through Backline too, that could be helpful. But
Awesome.
Backline.care, they're awesome. They're awesome.
I'll share that link in the comment section for these
Cool.
videos for any of those who feel that they need to look out, because there's nothing. Mental health is not something to be ashamed of. Mental health is not something to be. You're not broken. You're going through the same stuff everyone else is going through, and you owe yourself grace, and everyone owes each other some grace because it's not.
That's right.
You're not working from home. You're working during a pandemic. You're not.
Yeah.
You didn't quit being a musician. Pandemic canceled. You're still a musician. We're all still musicians. We're all still.
Yeah, you just gotta take a right. Go this way for a little bit.
Yeah,
Get back on the highway.
It's just a pivot. All it is a pivot. You're still moving forward. Always is the goal. It's when you become stagnant. And if for the other part of it, like there's so many people where it's like, oh, if you didn't find a new skill over COVID, it's not that you didn't have time. It's that you didn't have motivation. Where politely, it's like you're wrong.
It's just a shitty thing to say.
Yeah,
it's like who's trying to win what?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, good for you. It's like, some people are having a real rough time, man.
A real rough time.
Just being okay is hard work,
Yeah,
so.
to get to being functional. And
I love that people have to brag about skills. It's like, okay, great, man.
What did you do over COVID? I don't know, man. I got out of bed and made breakfast and
because for 3 weeks I didn't.
Right? I cleaned my sheets for the first time in 6 months.
You got this, bro.
Yeah.
Do it. Clean those sheets, man.
The thing
Maybe go outside tomorrow.
The thing that was nice for us, that for me and my girlfriend, that we were able to kind of focus on, is our health. That was we've started at 18 out of 21 meals a week. We're cooking at home, and
cool.
she became focused very aggressively on calorie counting and just making sure that what we were putting in worked. And between the two of us, we've lost 100 pounds over COVID. And
my wife and I, since right after Halloween, we've been hitting the gym 6 times a week and eating so healthy. I didn't drink for 8 weeks. I just stopped drinking again on Monday. I'm gonna do it. I don't know how long I'm not gonna drink, but I'm not gonna drink for a while again.
It was the hangovers. It was the hangovers for me, because I would have a drink, and then my girl Alyssa stopped drinking, and she found that she didn't need it as much, and then I wasn't as likely to go and pour myself a cocktail by myself, and then just be like, oh, so she stopped drinking. And then our last show that we played before the second shutdown was Halloween, and I had we had a shot of whiskey before we went on stage, and then I didn't see my band for another 5-6 weeks, even till January almost. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have shows to encourage drinking, and I wasn't drinking at home, and so it was just could
be worse, man.
Yeah, like I realized I didn't need to be drinking.
Yeah.
I wasn't the intent of going and getting fucked up. That need was kind of gone. Because even then, like at 22, you'd have a wicked hangover. You're like, okay, double dose of ibuprofen and a.
Well, at 42, it hurts.
Oh,
but on the road, like I do some drinking, but like it's been nice at home. There's nothing. We're not celebrating anything. We're just at home.
You're just chilling, and there's no reason to like. If you
getting a quarantine, I was hitting it, man. Like, that might have led me down to the path of seeking some help from therapy. But it turns out, you sleep better when you're not drinking all the time too. And there's so many benefits I found. I just kind of needed to pump the brakes. I've been on the road for like 22 years. It was time to take a break.
What's a comedian who's like, you don't dream when you get blackout drunk because your brain doesn't want to reward you for what it's done to you. What you've done to it. You're like,
great.
Do I get to dream tonight? It's like, no, your liver and I have to get together and figure out how to get you to 50. Like, we're having this is a business meeting tonight. No fun for you.
No, dude. Yeah, we're not giving you a dream. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Oh man, so like looking forward. So we're recording this on the 23rd. This is going to be debuting on the 2nd. I know you got quite a few shows coming up in the next little bit. So talk about the shows coming up after the 2nd. So people watching
after
this,
the 2nd.
Yeah.
Let's look. Let me look here. So I got to look beyond my phone.
No, it's okay.
After the 2nd of March. Yeah, I'm doing in Evergreen, on the Evergreen exit off I-70, El Rancho Brewing Company. This place is cool. New owners, killer food. Bill McKay, piano extraordinaire. Billy used to play with Leftover Salmon and Derek Trucks Band. He plays upstairs a lot, acoustic piano. It's a great vibe. And then he's got me and Corey Montgomery and a couple other cats around town playing there. And they have a huge outdoor patio that's going to be great, where you could have bands out there in when the weather gets better. So that's happening on that on the 5th of March. I'm playing Ace Eat Serve and Steubens on the patio there on the 13th and on the 27th of March. Yeah, I'll be playing El Rancho a couple of times. Just doing stuff around Denver in the area, going up to Vail and recording a lot at Vail at the Shakedown Bar with Scott Redner and the whole cast of musicians that hang out up there. And then looks like a little bit of a Frasco run in April, and then it looks like a Frasco tour in June. So we'll see how things pan out.
That's awesome, man.
But, we got a lot of exciting stuff, and the most exciting, and you can set your watch to it, thing that's happening Thursdays is the Andy Frasco Shit Show. The band and Andy made a TV show.
I loved last season, man. It was one of I loved watching. So I'm super.
This is a full-on production now, so it's crazy, man. We recorded a bunch of stuff out in Malibu and all over Colorado, and it's like sketch comedy and the band playing live, and I'm stoked about it.
And that is on No Cap, right?
No Cap shows. So, and it's free. So if you go to any of the Andy Frasco socials on Facebook or Instagram, you can find free tickets to this thing. It's going to be every Thursday. There's 10 episodes. So starting, which is the 25th of February. So you guys have the 4th.
Yeah.
This episode 2. So episode 1's going to have Grizz and Marcus King. It's awesome. Then we have killer guests on the whole thing. It's dope. And I'm super excited. It's super ridiculous and super shroomy.
That's perfect.
It's crazy, man.
Some of my favorite things.
Yeah,
So we have Shawn Eckels music we can find you at. We can find you at Andy Frasco. You can find Evil Dave. Thursdays of the Andy Frasco Shit Show on No Cap. The Ace Servant High. All this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Shawn Eckels.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, of course, man. Thank you for coming and chatting with us. As per usual, guys, this video is going to be uploaded to the Jamcast servers. The full extension of this one, the comment will be in the links. Thank you all so much for tuning into this week. We will see you in 2 weeks for episode 4 of Loop Storytime. Until next time, stay safe and see you then.